Welcome to Monk's Moon Temple. I'm truly glad you're here tonight, arriving at this quiet harbor as the day's waves settle into stillness. You've come to a sanctuary not made of stone or wood, but woven from silence and spacious awareness, a refuge that exists wherever you choose to remember it. Over the next 3 hours, we'll journey together through landscapes of profound rest, guided by timeless wisdom from many traditions, all pointing toward the same truth. Peace is your birthright, and sleep is its natural expression. This isn't about effort or achievement. It's about unlearning, about allowing, about coming home to the deep quiet that has been within you all along. So, let's begin by getting comfortable. Please adjust your position until you feel completely supported. Let the weight of your body be held entirely by the surface beneath you. Release any tension you might be holding in your shoulders, your jaw, your hands. Allow your eyes to close gently. And as you close them, imagine you are closing a door on the busyness of the day. You are stepping across a threshold into a space of pure being. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose, feel your lungs expand fully, and then release that breath through your mouth with a long, soft sigh. Let that sigh carry out with it any lingering residue from the hours now past. Let's do that once more. A deep, nourishing inhale. Gathering your awareness into this present moment, and a complete, releasing exhale, letting go of any need to be anywhere but here, doing anything but resting. From this moment forward, let your breathing find its own natural rhythm. Don't try to control it. Just become the observer of this beautiful, automatic miracle. Notice the slight coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils. Feel the subtle warmth as it leaves. Be aware of the gentle rise and fall of your chest or your belly. This breath is your anchor, your constant companion throughout this entire voyage into the night. Whenever you find your mind has wandered into thought, and it will, countless times, this simple sensation of breath is your guiding star, your way back to the present. There is no failure, only gentle return. Let's expand our awareness now, out into the very space around you. I want you to imagine that you are not in your room, but in the central courtyard of an ancient, open-air temple. This is Monk's Temple. The floor is smooth, worn stone, cool to the touch. The walls are simple and high, offering a perfect, protective enclosure. Above you, the night sky is an infinite expanse of deep violet, shimmering with countless stars. The air is still and carries the faint, clean scent of rain-washed earth and night-blooming flowers. There is no sound but the quiet rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze. You are profoundly safe here. This entire space is consecrated to peace, to stillness, to the sacred act of rest. You belong here. Now, slowly bring your awareness back from that imagined temple and into the living temple of your own body. We so often treat our bodies as vehicles or tools, pushing them through tasks without gratitude. Tonight, we return with reverence. We inhabit this temple fully, with kindness. We'll begin at the very foundations. Bring your attention to your feet. On your next exhale, imagine any tiny flicker of energy or tension in your toes simply dissolving, melting away into a pool of warm, heavy stillness. Let that feeling of release spread slowly upward, over the arches of your feet, around your heels, through your ankles. Your feet are now completely relaxed, heavy, at peace. They have carried you all day, and now their journey is done. Let this wave of relaxation continue its gentle ascent. It flows up your calves, like warm honey, loosening every muscle fiber. It reaches your knees, allowing the joints to soften and unlock. It moves into your thighs, those powerful pillars that hold you upright. Feel them gratefully releasing their duty, becoming heavy and still. Sense this deep, settling heaviness pooling in your hips and pelvis, the very center of your gravity. Let go completely here, where so much tension is stored. Allow the wave to rise now into your lower back. Perhaps you hold the day's burdens here. With each exhale, picture that tension as dark clay, and your breath as a sculptor's hand, smoothing it away, leaving only a sense of spacious, supportive ease. Let the relaxation spread across your abdomen, your stomach softening like dough. Feel it moving up your spine, vertebra by vertebra, as if each bone is being laid gently down on a bed of soft moss. Notice your chest opening, your heart space feeling unguarded and calm. Let the softening flow down your arms. Feel it pour from your shoulders, down through your upper arms, past your elbows, into your forearms, your wrists, your hands, and finally, to the very tips of your fingers. Each finger grows heavy, inert, perfectly still. Now, bring your attention to your neck and throat. These are passages of voice and vitality. Tonight, let them be passages of silent receptivity. Allow any tightness here to unravel like a slender thread coming loose. Finally, let relaxation flood into your face. Your jaw is loose, your teeth not touching. Your tongue rests comfortably against the roof of your mouth. Your cheeks soften. The tiny, intricate muscles around your eyes let go completely. Feel the skin of your forehead grow smooth, the space between your eyebrows becoming wide and calm. Your entire scalp relaxes. From the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, your body is now a landscape of profound peace. You are fully present in this temple of flesh and bone, and it is a sacred, resting sanctuary. As you rest here, utterly supported, I'd like to share the first of many stories. This one comes not from a book, but from a personal moment of understanding. Years ago, I was in Marrakech, in the heart of the Medina. The sensory intensity was overwhelming, a riot of colors in the souks, the hammering of metalworkers, the calls of vendors, the intertwining scents of spices, leather, and incense. It was exhilarating but also fragmenting. My mind felt scattered, pulled in a dozen directions at once. Seeking respite, I ducked through a nondescript doorway into a riad, a traditional house built around a central courtyard. The change was instantaneous and absolute. Outside was chaos, inside was profound order and calm. A lemon tree grew in the center of a geometric tiled fountain. The only sounds were the trickle of water and the distant coo of a dove. The air was cool and still. I sat on a low cushion, and as my senses adjusted, I noticed an elderly woman sitting silently in a corner, simply watching the light play on the water. She wasn't reading, wasn't working. She was just being there, utterly present and at peace within the sanctuary walls. In that moment, I understood that peace isn't about escaping the world's noise, but about building an inner riad, a courtyard of stillness at your center that you can retreat into any time. No matter how chaotic the external souk of your thoughts becomes, you can always step through the doorway of your breath into this inner sanctuary of calm. Your mind can be that quiet courtyard. Right now, your awareness is that still, observing presence. You don't need to change the external circumstances of your life to find this. You simply need to turn inward and discover the silence that has been patiently waiting for your return. Feel that inner silence now, blossoming from your heart, spreading through your utterly relaxed body. If the peace you're finding here in Monk's Temple feels like a sanctuary you'd wish to return to, I warmly invite you to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you help this digital temple remain a beacon of calm, freely offering refuge to all who seek it in the busy night. Your support allows us to continue creating these long-form journeys into rest. Now, let's continue deepening our peace. From this place of inner quiet, let's gently approach the tender territory of self-compassion. For many of us, the most constant voice in our heads is not a friend, but a harsh critic. It replays our missteps, highlights our flaws, and speaks in a tone we would never use with someone we love. Tonight, we begin to change that relationship. Imagine your awareness is a wide, comfortable veranda on a hilltop in the Blue Mountains of Jamaica. You're swaying gently in a hammock. The air is warm and sweet with the scent of tropical blooms. Below, you can see the vibrant life of the valley, the colorful houses, the movement of people. Now, imagine that critical voice in your head is not inside you, but is someone down in that valley, shouting up at your peaceful veranda. They're yelling about deadlines you missed, kind words you forgot to say, imperfections you perceive. From your elevated place of peace, their shout seems small, almost comical, lost in the vast landscape. You don't have to shout back. You don't have to run down the hill to engage. You can simply acknowledge their presence from your place of detachment. You might even feel a flicker of pity for their agitated state. And then, you can turn your gaze back to the horizon, to the magnificent play of clouds over the mountains, to the feeling of the hammock cradling you. That veranda is your true self, the compassionate, observing awareness. The shouting is just noise in the distance. Let it fade into the background. You remain on the veranda, in peace. Now, from that peaceful vantage point, offer yourself the simplest, kindest gift. Silently, in your heart, whisper, "In this moment, I allow myself to rest." You don't need to believe it fervently. Just offer the intention. In this moment, I allow myself to rest. Let the words sink into your being, like rain into parched earth. Your body, which has worked tirelessly for you, hears this permission. Your restless mind hears it. You are granting yourself the fundamental human right to cease striving, simply because you exist. This conscious kindness toward ourselves naturally extends to a deeper appreciation for the body itself. We so often see it through a lens of criticism, judging its shape, its abilities, its fatigue. But tonight, let's see it through a lens of awe. I want you to visualize your nervous system. Imagine you are floating in the geothermal blue lagoon in Iceland. The water is a milky, opaque blue, rich with silica and minerals, incredibly buoyant and warm. The air is cool, and steam rises in great plumes around you. Now, imagine that same mineral-rich, silken warmth isn't outside you, but inside you. Picture your entire nervous system, the brain, the spinal cord, the vast network of nerves. Not as biological wiring, but as a constellation of tiny, blue-white stars connected by threads of gentle light. With every beat of your heart, a wave of this warm, blue, silken light pulses through the entire constellation. It flows from the core of your brain down your spine, and from there, it radiates out along every nerve pathway to the very edges of your fingertips and toes. It's not fixing or repairing, it's simply bathing every nerve ending, every synapse, in a soothing, luminous balm. This is your inner blue lagoon. Your body is not a problem to be solved, but a universe of wonder to be bathed in gratitude. Feel this internal, luminous bathing now. Let it soothe any raw edges, any places that feel overstimulated from the day. As we float in this inner light, we can open ourselves to gratitude, which is less about listing blessings and more about a fundamental orientation toward life, a recognition of beauty and sufficiency. I learned a profound lesson about this from a fisherman I met on the shores of Lake Titicaca, on the border of Peru and Bolivia. He lived in a reed hut on the floating Uros Islands. His life was simple, tied to the rhythms of the lake and the sky. One evening, as we watched the sun set, turning the vast water into a sheet of hammered gold, I asked him if he ever wished for more, a bigger boat, a house on land. He smiled and pointed to the reeds beneath our feet, to the water, to the sky. "Todo ya está aquí," he said. Everything is already here. For him, gratitude wasn't an exercise, it was the lens through which he saw his world. His life was not lacking, it was complete. Tonight, try on that lens. Don't strain to feel grateful. Just look for what is already here, in your immediate experience, and acknowledge its presence. Perhaps the softness of your pillow. Silently say, "This softness is here." Feel the truth of the statement. The support of your mattress. This support is here. The rhythm of your breath. This breath is here. You are not adding anything, you are simply recognizing what is already present, and in that recognition, a natural, calm appreciation arises. It's the feeling of enoughness. Let that feeling of everything is already here for this moment of rest fill you. This sense of sufficiency allows us to lean into the great liberating truth of impermanence, or anicca. Everything changes. Every thought, every sensation, every emotion, every state of wakefulness. This is not a cause for anxiety, but for profound relief. Think of your mind as the sky above the salt flats of Sala de Uyuni in Bolivia. In the rainy season, a thin layer of water covers the flats, creating a perfect, mirror-like surface that reflects the sky so completely that the horizon vanishes. Storm clouds gather with dramatic speed, towering, dark, and formidable. This is like our anxiety, our rumination, our racing thoughts. They feel all-encompassing, a total reality. But if you watch, you see the storm, for all its power, moves. It drifts across the immense mirror sky. The clouds break up. The sun returns, and the world becomes a seamless, dazzling expanse of blue and white, heaven and earth indistinguishable in their perfection. The storm was real, but it was not permanent. Your current mental state, whether it is calm or agitated, sleepy or alert, is just weather in the vast sky of your awareness. You are not the storm. You are the entire sky, the limitless space that contains the weather. The clear, reflective calm is always your fundamental nature, even when clouds obscure it. Trust that whatever is passing through your mind right now is already in motion, already changing. You don't have to fight the weather. Just rest as the sky. Being the sky allows us to embody the principle of non-striving. We are a culture of doers, and we often approach sleep as another task to accomplish. This creates a paradox: the effort to sleep is what keeps it away. I learned this not from philosophy, but from watching rock climbers in Joshua Tree National Park. A climber tackling a difficult route doesn't constantly strain and thrash. They find a position of rest on the rock, often in seemingly precarious places. They settle their weight onto their feet, relax their grip just enough, and let their skeleton align with the rock's features. In that moment of rest, they are not trying to climb, they are simply being on the rock, recovering, gathering strength effortlessly. The next move arises from that state of restful presence, not from frantic effort. Sleep is your rest position on the rock face of consciousness. You cannot climb your way into it. Your job is to find the position of rest. This position you are in right now, and settle into it completely. Relax your mental grip. Let your awareness be supported by the rock of the present moment. Don't try to get to the top of the cliff, deep sleep. Just be here, resting on this ledge, breathing, trusting that the next natural stage of the journey will emerge from this total surrender. Feel your body and mind finding that perfect rest position now. All striving has ceased. This balanced, effortless state is the heart of the middle way. It's not about mediocrity, but about the precise point of harmony. Imagine you are a glassblower in the island of Murano, near Venice. Before you is a furnace of molten glass, glowing like captured sunlight. On your workbench is a finished piece, a delicate vase. If you strike it too hard, it will shatter. That's the extreme of force, of striving. If you handle it with too much timidity, you'll never shape it, and it will cool into a useless lump. That's the extreme of passivity, of collapse. But there is a perfect, confident pressure, firm yet gentle, decisive yet fluid, that allows the master to shape the glass into a thing of breathtaking beauty. Your approach to sleep is like that master's touch. If you're mentally straining, clenching your jaw, demanding unconsciousness, your touch is too hard. Soften your intention. If you've let your mind spin wildly into fantasies or worries, your touch is too loose. Gently bring it back to the warmth of the present moment. Find the precise, gentle pressure of awareness that is attentive but not rigid, relaxed but not scattered. That is the master's touch that shapes the night into a vessel of perfect rest. Feel yourself applying that touch to your own consciousness now. Finding this harmony naturally leads to the deep practice of letting go. We often think of letting go as an action we must perform. But true letting go is the cessation of holding on. It's like the process of a spider's web at dawn in an English garden. All night, the web has been taut, engineered to catch and hold. When the morning sun rises and the dew gathers, each droplet hangs on the silken threads, a universe of tiny, clinging worlds. But as the sun grows warmer, a subtle change occurs. The droplets don't decide to let go. The tension in the web simply relaxes under the warmth. One by one, the droplets release, sliding down the threads or falling away as glittering rain. The web itself remains, lighter, ready for the night to come. You are that web. The day's experiences, worries, and plans are the droplets of dew. The warmth of your attention, the gentle breath of your awareness, is the sun. You don't need to flick each droplet away. Just feel the natural, gradual relaxation of your mental and emotional tension under the warm light of your kind attention. With each exhale, feel a droplet of concern slide away and fall into nothingness. The holding is ending not by force, but by the natural law of warmth and release. Allow this process to happen now. Feel yourself becoming lighter, emptier, simpler. In this state of lightness, our sense of a solid, separate self can soften wonderfully. We transition from being a doer to simply being. I'm reminded of the Danish concept of hygge, that deep coziness and contentment of simple presence. Imagine a small, candlelit cabin in a snowy Danish forest. Outside, the world is silent and white. Inside, you are wrapped in a thick, wool blanket. A simple pot of soup simmers on the stove, filling the air with a savory fragrance. You have no schedule. You are not the professional, the caregiver, the achiever. You are just a human being, warm, fed, and safe. Your identity simplifies to its essence, a creature appreciating shelter, warmth, and quiet companionship. Your bed is that cabin tonight. The darkness is your silent forest. Your heartbeat is the comforting simmer of the soup. For these hours, let go of all your roles. You are not a doer. You are a human being. Rest in the profound, uncomplicated truth of just being alive and at rest. This space of pure being is where intuition, the voice of our deeper wisdom, often speaks most clearly. The threshold of sleep is a famously creative space. The chemist Auguste Kekulé discovered the ring structure of the benzene molecule in a dream of a snake biting its own tail. Mary Shelley conceived of Frankenstein in a waking dream. You don't need a grand discovery tonight. But you can appreciate that as you drift, your mind is not going offline. It's shifting into a more associative, symbolic, and integrative mode. If fragments of dreams, strange images, or nonsensical phrases float through your awareness, don't grab at them or analyze them. Watch them with soft curiosity, like lying on your back in a meadow in the Swiss Alps, watching whimsical cloud shapes drift across an azure sky. Each one is a passing creation of your mind's boundless imagination. Appreciate the fleeting art show, and let each piece dissolve back into the blue. As we honor this fluid, creative state, we also feel our interconnectedness. Your rest tonight is a single note in a planetary symphony. Right now, picture the Earth spinning in the black velvet of space. A line of shadow, the Terminator, moves steadily across its face. On one side is day, with its bustle and light. On the other is night, with its quiet and dreams. You are in the night side. Millions of others are with you, surrendering to rest. The farmer in the Philippines who grew the rice you ate is perhaps waking. The nurse in Berlin who is ending her night shift is finally heading to bed. The night watchman in Mumbai is keeping vigil. We are all part of this great, breathing, sleeping, waking organism. Your individual need for rest connects you to the fundamental rhythm of all life. Feel the comfort of that vast connection. You are not resting alone in a small room. You are part of a global wave of restoration. Let that feeling dissolve any loneliness. Now, let's journey deeper into the body with a fresh approach to the body scan. Imagine you are not scanning for tension, but on a gentle tour of appreciation. You are a grateful visitor in the most sophisticated biological museum on Earth, your own form. Start in the Great Hall of the Feet. Marvel at their engineering, the intricate arches that act as springs, the countless bones working in perfect harmony. Silently thank your feet for their faithful service. Move up to the gallery of the legs. Appreciate the powerful muscles of the calves and thighs, the sturdy hinges of the knees that allow you to move through the world. Feel gratitude for their strength. Enter the central chamber of the hips and pelvis. This is your center of gravity, your anchor. Honor its stability. Walk through the long gallery of the spine, a flexible column of protection for your vital neural pathways. Appreciate its resilience. Visit the quiet room of the abdomen, where the unseen alchemy of digestion and energy production takes place. Thank it for its constant, silent work. Step into the spacious dome of the chest, where your heart beats its relentless, generous rhythm and your lungs perform their sacred exchange of gases. Stand in awe here for a moment. Move into the annex of the shoulders and arms, tools of expression and embrace. Thank them. Finally, enter the observatory of the head. This is the command center, processing unimaginable amounts of data. Thank your brain for its tireless work, and now, give it explicit permission to stand down, to enter observation mode only. You have toured your personal Louvre, your Smithsonian, and found it to be a masterpiece of life. Dwell in the awe of that. From this deep, appreciative embodiment, we can practice the heart-radiating practice of metta, or loving-kindness. We'll do this slowly, like lighting a series of candles in a dark cathedral. First, light the candle for yourself. Place a hand on your heart. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Silently offer these phrases, meaning them as best you can. May I be free from danger. May I have mental happiness. May I have physical ease. May I live with gentleness. Now, picture someone you love unconditionally, a child, a parent, a dear friend. See their face, feel your natural affection. Light a candle for them. May you be free from danger. May you have mental happiness. May you have physical ease. May you live with gentleness. Think of a neutral person, the cashier you see weekly, a neighbor you nod to. Recognize their humanity. Light their candle. May you be safe, happy, at ease, gentle. This is the practice's strength. Bring to mind someone you have difficulty with. It doesn't have to be an enemy, perhaps just someone who irritates you. Understand that they, too, wish to be happy and free from suffering. Light a candle even for them. May you be free from danger. May you have happiness, ease, gentleness. Finally, expand the light. Imagine all these individual candle flames merging into one great, radiant sphere of golden light. Expand it to fill your room, your city, your country, the globe. Include all beings in all realms, people, animals, insects, trees, those in joy and those in sorrow. May all beings be free from danger. May all beings have mental happiness. May all beings have physical ease. May all beings live with gentleness. Feel your heart, in this moment, not as a muscle in your chest, but as this expansive, radiant sphere of benevolent light. This unconditional friendliness is the ultimate relaxation for the soul. It tells your deepest self that the world is not a battlefield, but a community. This is the most fertile ground for deep, untroubled sleep. We've traveled far in our awareness. Now, we return, with exquisite simplicity, to the present moment through the direct portal of the senses. This is mindfulness in its purest form. Hearing, open the gates of listening. Don't search for sounds. Let them come to you. Notice the loudest sound. Then the softest. Then the constant, underlying hum of silence itself, the sound of the universe. Listen to it all as a symphony without a conductor, each sound arising and passing on its own. Touch. Become intensely aware of touch. The pressure of your body against the mattress. The weight of the blanket. The texture of the sheets against your skin. The slight air movement on your face. The points of contact, heel, calf, back, shoulders, head. Immerse yourself in these tactile proofs of support and safety. Sight, behind closed eyelids, notice the play of light and dark. Swirling colors, drifting shapes, flashes of faint light. This is the visual static of your resting brain. Watch it as you would watch embers in a dying fire, fascinating, meaningless, beautiful. Smell and taste, notice any scent in the air. The clean smell of laundry, the scent of your own skin, the neutrality of the air itself. Notice any taste in your mouth. Simply be aware. By anchoring in this raw, direct sensory experience, you step out of the world of stories, interpretations, and time. You enter the eternal present. And in this present, right now, you are safe. You are still. You are resting. Nothing else is required. Let's return to the breath with a new image. Imagine your breath is the gentle rocking of a traditional wooden dhow boat on the calm, glassy waters of Zanzibar's coast at twilight. The boat rises softly with your inhale, pauses at the crest, descends gently with your exhale, pauses in the trough. There is no destination. The boat is not trying to get to shore. It is simply being rocked by the gentle rhythm of the sea, under a sky slowly filling with stars. Your breath is that rocking. In and out. A timeless, soothing motion that requires no thought, no direction. Surrender to its peaceful, ceaseless rhythm. Let's continue our journey here in Monk's Temple. You've settled into the rhythm of your breath, like a dhow boat rocking on calm waters. That sense of peace you've cultivated is a tender seed. Now, we'll plant it in the rich soil of acceptance, allowing it to take root and grow into unshakable stillness. First, let's deepen the body relaxation once more. Often, after initial relaxation, subtle tensions creep back in the jaw, the forehead, between the shoulder blades. So, let's do a sweeping check. Imagine a soft, slow-moving radar scanner of golden light, moving from the crown of your head down to your toes. As it passes over each area, it doesn't judge tension. It simply illuminates it with kindness, and in that illumination, the tension is invited to soften. Start at the crown. Feel the scan's gentle light. Move it down over your forehead, your eyes, your jaw. Notice your jaw. Is it clenched? Let it hang loose, as if you're about to whisper a secret to the night. Let the scan move down your neck, into the valley of your shoulders. These are bridges between your thinking mind and your active body. Let them be bridges of ease, not cables of stress. Feel the scanner's light encouraging them to drop, to widen, to melt. Move down your arms, through your elbows, to your wrists and hands. Sometimes we hold stories in our hands, the memory of a handshake, the grip of a steering wheel, the tap of a keyboard. Let the scanner's light release those held stories. Let your palms turn gently upward in a gesture of receiving, not holding. Continue the scan down your torso, your hips, your legs, all the way to your feet. Anywhere you find a whisper of holding, greet it with the light of awareness and the inner whisper, it's okay to let go now. Your entire body is now illuminated from within by this accepting, gentle attention. From this deeply accepted physical state, let's explore emotional acceptance. Emotions are like weather in the body, they have sensations. Anxiety might be a fluttering in the chest. Sadness a heaviness in the throat. Restlessness a buzzing in the limbs. Instead of following the story of the emotion, I'm anxious because of tomorrow's meeting, drop into the pure sensation. Located in the body. Bring your breath to that area, as if you could breathe directly into your stomach or your heart. Imagine the breath flowing into and around the sensation, not to change it, but to keep it company. To say, I see you. You are allowed to be here. This simple act of bearing witness without judgment often allows the emotional energy to complete its natural cycle and dissolve. I'm reminded of a story from the annual Ice Music Festival in Norway, held inside a glacier. Musicians play instruments carved from ice. The music is ethereal, hauntingly beautiful, but it is profoundly temporary. A note is played, and it hangs in the cold air, crystalline and pure, before it fades forever. The musicians don't cling to the notes. They don't try to make the ice violin last. They accept the impermanent nature of their medium, and in that acceptance, the beauty is breathtaking. Your emotions are like that ice music. A feeling arises, a clear, distinct note in the body-mind. It has its moment of resonance. If you try to cling to it or push it away, you miss its fleeting beauty and create discord. Instead, can you listen to each emotional note as it arises, appreciate its unique texture, and then allow it to fade in its own time, making space for the next note in the symphony of your night? Practice this now. Notice what's present. Listen to its note. And let it be, without attachment. This practice of allowing leads us to one of the most powerful allies in the quest for rest, curiosity. When we can't sleep, we often meet the experience with frustration, a closed fist of rejection. What if we met it with an open hand of curiosity? Imagine you are a naturalist on a night hike in the cloud forests of Monteverde, Costa Rica. Your flashlight is off. You are sitting on a log, letting your senses adjust. Instead of fearing the darkness and the unknown sounds, you become curious. What is that rustle? Is it a coati foraging? What is that chirp? A tree frog calling to its mate? The night becomes an adventure, not a threat. Your insomnia, or restlessness, is your personal cloud forest at night. Instead of fighting it, get curious. Where do I feel this wakefulness in my body? Is it a bright feeling behind my eyes? A sort of humming in my energy? What thoughts are drifting through like night birds? Are they repetitive? Are they anxious or planning? Don't analyze, just observe with the gentle curiosity of a naturalist discovering a new ecosystem. This shift from resistance to exploration changes everything. The struggle ends. You are simply learning about the territory of your own consciousness in this moment. Become that curious naturalist of your own mind now. A beautiful concept from Japanese aesthetics is wabi-sabi, the finding of beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. A cracked teacup prepared with gold lacquer, kintsugi, is more treasured for its flaws. A moss-covered stone in a garden is valued for its weathering. Can you apply wabi-sabi to your sleep? The goal is not perfect, uninterrupted, 8 hours of dreamless sleep. That is an idealized, static image. The wabi-sabi of sleep is the imperfect, human reality of it. It's the night you wake up at 3 a.m. and listen to the rain. It's the night you drift in and out of light sleep, your thoughts meandering like a slow river. It's the acceptance of the crack in the plan, and seeing the beauty in it, the golden seam of awareness that runs through the broken expectation. Tonight, release the perfect image. Embrace the wabi-sabi of your rest. However it unfolds, with its cracks, its asymmetries, its fleeting moments, it is uniquely yours and beautifully real. Now, let's work with the mind's tendency to plan and problem solve, which is often the biggest barrier to sleep. We need to consciously shift gears from doing mode to being mode. Doing mode is linear, goal-oriented, analytical. It's the mind of the architect drawing blueprints. Being mode is non-linear, present-centered, and experiential. It's the mind of the child lying in the grass, watching clouds. To make this shift, we'll use a simple mental device. Imagine you have a beautiful, old-fashioned control panel in your mind, with large, satisfying levers and knobs. One lever is labeled doing. It's currently engaged, humming with activity. See your mental hand reach out and gently, firmly, pull that lever to the off position. Hear the click. Feel the hum of planning and analysis power down. Now, find the lever labeled being. It's quiet and still. Pull it to the on position. Feel a different energy engage, a soft, expansive, receptive field of awareness that has no goals, only presence. You are now in being mode. Your only task is to experience, not to accomplish. Rest in this operational mode for sleep. In this being mode, we can practice dropping the rope. Imagine you are in a silent, internal tug-of-war. On one end of the rope is the desire for sleep. On the other end is the experience of wakefulness. You are the one straining in the middle, pulled taut. The harder you pull towards sleep, the more the wakefulness pulls back. The struggle is exhausting. The solution is not to pull harder, but to drop the rope entirely. Simply open your hands and let it fall. There is no more struggle. There is just you, standing freely in the open space, with sleep on one side and wakefulness on the other. They are just static conditions now, not opponents. You are no longer defined by the tug-of-war between them. Feel yourself dropping the rope now. Let go of the struggle. Stand free in the open field of this present moment, where you are neither a winner nor a loser, but simply a being at rest. To stabilize in this free space, let's use a counting practice, but with a twist. We won't count breaths to focus, but to let go. Imagine each number is a small, smooth stone from a river in the Scottish Highlands. With each exhale, you take one of these stones and drop it into a deep, still, peat brown loch. The number isn't important. The act of release is. Inhale, and as you exhale, mentally drop the stone. 1. See it sink slowly, disappearing into the dark, clear water. A soft plop, then silence. Inhale, exhale, drop the stone. 2. Watch it fall away. Continue at your own pace, up to 10. If you lose count, it doesn't matter. Just pick a number and drop it. You are not building anything. You are surrendering stones, lightening your mental load into the welcoming depths. Let me share another original story, this one from the silent, salt-crusted landscape of the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. I went there to experience the silence. What I found was not an absence of sound, but a presence of space so vast it recalibrated my mind. The horizon was a perfect, unbroken line. The sky domed overhead. There was no object to focus on, no landmark to navigate by. At first, my mind, used to stimuli, fretted. Where is the path? What should I look at? Then, gradually, it gave up. It had nothing to latch onto. It relaxed into the sheer, boundless openness. It became quiet not by force, but by default. The external emptiness became an internal spaciousness. Your mind, when trying to sleep, is often searching for a thing to focus on, a problem to solve, a story to follow. Tonight, invited into the Bonneville Salt Flats of awareness. Let there be no object. Let there be no path. Let there be only the boundless, open space of consciousness itself. When a thought arises, it's like a tiny pebble on that infinite white plain. Acknowledge it, and let it be swallowed back into the spaciousness. Rest in this panoramic, empty awareness. It is the most natural sedative in the world. From this spaciousness, let's cultivate an even deeper quality, tenderness. Sometimes our inability to sleep comes from a subtle, underlying agitation, a psychic itch. We can meet this with aggression or with tenderness. Imagine the part of you that is frustrated, awake, or anxious is not an enemy, but a frightened child who has wandered into your room in the middle of the night. This child doesn't need logic, scolding, or dismissal. It needs to be seen, acknowledged, and comforted. In your mind's eye, see that child. Maybe they are sitting at the foot of your bed. Sense their restless energy. Now, from your adult, compassionate awareness, gently invite them to come closer. Pat the space beside you. In your mind, let them curl up next to you. Place a comforting hand on their back. You don't need to say anything. Just offer a silent, steady presence of safety and unconditional welcome. Feel the agitated energy begin to settle, soothed by your own unconditional acceptance. The frightened part of you is now held, and can finally rest. This internal tenderness prepares us for a beautiful practice, dedicating our rest for the benefit of others. This may seem counterintuitive, but it lifts the focus off our personal struggle and connects us to something larger. It's based on the Buddhist practice of bodhicitta, the wish for one's awakening to benefit all beings. We can adapt it for sleep. As you rest here, breathing deeply, form this gentle intention: may this rest I am entering renew me, so that tomorrow I may be a source of a little more patience, a little more kindness, a little more clarity in the world. May the peace I find tonight ripple out, in ways I cannot see, to touch the lives of others. Imagine your deep, restorative sleep as a clear, cool spring high in the mountains. As you sleep, the water gathers. Upon waking, it will begin to flow down the mountainside, eventually joining streams and rivers, providing nourishment for countless beings downstream. Your rest is not a selfish act, it is a gathering of resources for the collective good. Feel the dignity and purpose in this. You are resting for the sake of the world. Now, let's return to the breath for a final, unifying practice in this part of our journey. We'll use the ocean breath, or ujjayi technique, very softly. It's often used in yoga, but here we'll use it as a sonic blanket. Gently constrict the back of your throat, as if you were going to whisper the sound HA, but with your mouth closed. As you inhale through your nose, let the breath make a soft, whispering sound like wind in the trees or distant waves. As you exhale through your nose, let it make the same soft, oceanic sigh. The sound gives your mind a gentle, rhythmic anchor. It also creates a tangible feeling of the breath moving in and out, which is deeply calming to the nervous system. Practice this for a few cycles now. Inhale with a soft whisper, exhale with a soft sigh. Let this sound be your personal lullaby, the gentle surf of your own life force, rocking you toward the shores of sleep. You are doing beautifully. You have moved from relaxation into the gardens of acceptance, curiosity, and tenderness. You have dropped the rope of struggle and are resting in boundless spaciousness. In the next part of our journey, we will explore the realm of memory and story, learning to gently put the chapters of the day to bed. But for now, simply rest here, with the soft ocean sound of your own breath, held in the tender, accepting awareness of Monk's Temple. Welcome back to the deepening stillness of Monk's Temple. You've settled into the soft, oceanic rhythm of your own breath, a gentle tide washing over the shores of your awareness. Now, as we voyage further into the night, we'll visit a quiet, inner library, the place where the stories of your day are gently shelved, so that your mind can close its books and find the blank, peaceful page of sleep. Begin by noticing the quality of your thoughts now. They may have settled into a softer murmur, like distant conversation in a great hall. We're not here to silence that conversation, but to listen to it with a new kind of ear, the ear of a compassionate archivist. Imagine your mind is a beautiful, round reading room in an old library, like the long room in Trinity College, Dublin. Wooden ladders reach to high, curved shelves. The air smells of aged paper and polished oak. Soft, green-shaded lamps cast pools of warm light on reading desks. This is the library of your day. Every experience, every interaction, every thought and feeling from the hours now past has been written into a temporary volume and placed here. Your job tonight is not to read these books obsessively, nor to burn them. Your job is to acknowledge them, appreciate their place on the shelf, and then turn down the lamps, one by one. Let's start with the most recent volumes. Gently bring to mind the last thing you did before getting into bed. Brushing your teeth, checking a lock, turning off a light. See it as a small, thin pamphlet. Acknowledge its title, The Final Task. Now, in your mind's eye, see yourself placing this pamphlet on a shelf. It is done. It belongs to the past. The action is complete. Now, move backward through the evening. Recall your dinner, or the last time you ate. The tastes, the sensations. See this as another volume. Perhaps it's titled Evening Sustenance. Thank it for the nourishment it provided, and then, with care, place it on the shelf next to the first. It, too, is complete. Continue this gentle, backward review. Don't get drawn into reading the chapters. Just acknowledge the titles, the broad themes. The commute home. The afternoon meeting. The lunch break. The morning's project. Handle each memory book with detached care. You are not judging its content as good or bad. You are simply, methodically, returning it to its place in the archives of yesterday. As you go further back, you may encounter heavier volumes, books of worry, of conflict, of sadness, or of joy. Treat them all with the same respectful neutrality. A volume titled Frustration with a Colleague. Place it on the shelf. A volume titled Moment of Unexpected Kindness. Place it on the shelf. A volume titled Anxiety About Tomorrow. This one might feel weighty. Hold it for a moment. Feel its weight in your hands. Then, consciously place it on a special shelf labeled Future, Not Yet Written. It does not belong in the active reading pile of tonight. Gently push that whole shelf out of sight, into a quiet alcove. This process is not about erasing the day, but about completing it. It is the mental equivalent of closing shop, wiping the counters, turning the sign to closed. The work of the day is over. The accounting is done. The stories are all shelved. Now, walk slowly to the center of your library. Look around at the silent, ordered shelves. Everything is in its place. Nothing is demanding your attention. Now, walk to the large, ornate lamp on the head librarian's desk. See its soft, golden glow. This lamp represents your analytical, thinking mind. Place your hand on the switch. With gratitude for its diligent work all day, gently turn it off. Watch the pool of light vanish. The room is dimmer, quieter. Move to another lamp, perhaps over a reading nook. This one represents your planning mind. Thank it for its efforts to organize your life, and turn this lamp off as well. Continue, finding and turning off the lamps of various mental faculties, the lamp of judgment, the lamp of comparison, the lamp of problem solving. With each switch you click, feel a corresponding part of your mind powering down, entering a state of restful inactivity. Finally, only one source of illumination remains. A soft, silvery, moonlight glow coming from a high, round window. This is the light of pure, non-judgmental awareness. It doesn't cast sharp shadows, it simply reveals the peaceful emptiness of the room. This is the light you rest in now. The library is closed. All the books are safe. There is nothing to do, nothing to read, nothing to write. Only the silent, moonlit space of your own consciousness. To help cement this feeling of completion, I'll share a story from the ritual-rich culture of Bali. There, each day ends with a small but profound offering called Kanang Sari. Women weave small, palm leaf baskets and fill them with precise, symbolic items, flowers for devotion, rice for sustenance, a bit of money for prosperity, betel nut for honesty. These are not grand sacrifices, but tiny, beautiful acknowledgments of the day's gifts and its completion. At dusk, they are placed at doorways, on statues, at crossroads, as a thank you and a release. The day is offered back to the gods, to the universe. It is finished. Tonight, in your heart, weave a kanong sorry for your day. It doesn't have to be visual. Just feel yourself gathering the essence of the day, its lessons, its chores, its interactions, placing them in a metaphorical basket of gratitude, and then offering it all up. Whisper inwardly, I offer this day. It is complete. Feel the relief of that offering. The day is no longer yours to carry. It has been received by the vast, accepting night. Now, with the day archived and offered, we can address the subtle body of energy that often remains agitated. In many traditions, this is called the subtle body or the energy body. To soothe it, we'll use a visualization of color and light. Imagine a vessel of the purest, most tranquil lavender light above the crown of your head. This is not a bright, stimulating purple, but the soft, dusky lavender of twilight shadows, deeply calming to the nervous system. Now, imagine this gentle light beginning to pour down, like a slow waterfall of liquid peace. It flows over your head, washing down over your face, your neck, your shoulders. As it flows, it soothes not just muscles, but the very electrical buzz of thought, the vibrational residue of emotion. Feel it moving down your arms, your chest, your back, carrying with it any static or restless energy, depositing it into the earth below you. The lavender light continues its descent, down through your abdomen, your hips, your legs, all the way to your feet and into the ground. You are being bathed from head to toe in a cascade of serene, violet-tinted stillness. Your entire energy field is being calmed and unified. Let this visualization continue for a few moments. See yourself immersed in this calming hue, your aura quieting from a bright, white alertness to a soft, peaceful glow. With your energy settled, let's practice a powerful mantra for sleep. A mantra is not a magical spell, but a tool to focus and quiet the mind by giving it a simple, repetitive task. The one we'll use is based on a fundamental truth: I am not the thinker, I am the awareness behind the thoughts. The mantra is, I am here. We'll sync it with the breath. As you inhale, silently say, I am. As you exhale, silently say, here. Inhale, I am, acknowledging your essential being. Exhale, here. Anchoring that being in the present moment, in this body, in this bed. It's profoundly simple. I am here. Not lost in yesterday. Not projected into tomorrow. I am here. In this safe, dark, quiet place. Let this rhythm cradle you. Inhale. I am, exhale. Here. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to this gentle pulse of being and presence. You are declaring your truth with every breath, existence. Presence. Safety. Let me weave in another original story, this one from the vast silence of the Canadian Arctic. I once spent time in a small Inuit community. The elder I spoke with told me that in the perpetual darkness of the polar winter, they have a concept for the quiet that descends. They don't call it silence, which can imply an absence. They call it kartsaluni, which roughly means sitting together in the darkness, waiting for something to burst. It's not a passive waiting, but a creative, pregnant stillness. The darkness is not empty, it is full of potential. The people would sit together in the kagak, the communal snow house, in the warm darkness, not speaking, just breathing together, knowing that beneath the ice, the seals were swimming, and that the sun would eventually return. Their waiting was a form of participation in the rhythm of the world. Your wait for sleep is a modern kartsaluni. You are sitting in the warm darkness of your room, waiting for sleep to burst forth. But this waiting is not wasted time or failure. It is a sacred, creative stillness. You are participating in the natural rhythm of your own body-mind. The healing processes, the memory consolidation, the dropping of consciousness. These are all happening beneath the surface of your awareness, like life beneath the Arctic ice. Trust this hidden activity. Your job is simply to sit in the warm, dark kagak of your awareness, breathing, waiting with patient, creative silence. Embrace this kartsaluni. You are not alone, you are sitting with the timeless wisdom of your own body, waiting for the sun of sleep to rise in its own time. From this place of patient, creative waiting, let's gently explore the sense of hearing again, but as a doorway to emptiness. Often, we listen to sounds. Tonight, try to listen from the silence between sounds. It's like trying to hear the silence in a Japanese rock garden, the negative space that defines everything else. Focus on a recurring sound in your environment, perhaps the hum of a refrigerator, the ticking of a clock, the distant rumble of traffic. Listen to it intently for a few cycles. Now, shift your attention to the pause after the sound ends. Stretch your awareness into that gap. Then, listen for the gap before the sound begins. The sound itself becomes a brief event that arises from silence and returns to silence. Your true home is not in the sound, but in the silent awareness that witnesses it. Rest in that witness silence. Let all sounds arise and pass like momentary ripples on the surface of a deep, silent lake. You are the lake. Now, let's engage the imagination in a way that promotes weightlessness, a classic sensation that precedes sleep. Imagine you are a single, fluffy seed from a dandelion clock. You are attached to the head of the dandelion, a sphere of 100 other seeds. The day's sun has warmed you, and the stem is dry. Now, a soft, warm night breeze begins to blow. It doesn't tug, it simply invites. One by one, the seeds around you let go and float away. You feel your own connection to the stem loosen. There's no resistance. Then, with the gentlest of sighs, you detach. You are airborne. The warm breeze carries you up, not in a wild rush, but in a slow, spiraling ascent. The ground, the world of tasks and gravity, recedes. You are floating in a boundless, soft, dark sky. There is no up or down, only peaceful suspension. You are being cradled by the air itself. Feel this sensation in your body now, a gentle, weightless letting go, a surrender to being carried by the atmosphere of the night. Drift. As you drift, we'll plant one more intention, this one for the content of your sleep itself. Neuroscience tells us that sleep, particularly REM sleep, is crucial for emotional processing and memory integration. We can gently guide this process. Bring to mind one learning from today. It could be a practical lesson, an emotional insight, or a moment of clarity. Hold it lightly, like a delicate seed. Now, as you hover in this weightless state, imagine handing this seed to a kind, wise figure who resides in your subconscious. This could be an image of a grandmother, a wise animal, a sphere of light, or simply a feeling of deep, inner wisdom. Silently say, "Please help me integrate this. Help me understand what I need from this experience." Then, let the figure take the seed and turn away, descending into the fertile darkness of your dreaming mind. Trust that the inner work will be done. You don't need to know how. We are nearing the end of this part of our journey. To consolidate all we've done, shelving the day, soothing the energy, practicing mantra, waiting creatively, and floating weightlessly, let's return to a simple body awareness, but with a twist. Instead of feeling your body as a solid form, feel it as a constellation of points of light in a dark space. Each point of light is a point of sensation. The heel, the knee, the hip, the shoulder, the elbow, the back of the head. Don't connect the dots with lines of solidity. Just let them be individual stars, floating in the dark space of your awareness. The space between the stars is vast, empty, and peaceful. Your body is not a dense obstacle to relaxation, it is a loose, spacious constellation of sensation, mostly made of the dark, silent space between the stars. Rest in that spaciousness. You are not a heavy body trying to sleep. You are a constellation of awareness, already at rest in the cosmos of your bed. You have done profound work. You have lovingly closed the library of the day and are floating in the creative darkness of Kartsaluni. In the next part of our journey at Monk's Temple, we will descend deeper, into the landscapes of memory and dream, crossing the threshold where wakefulness blurs and the unconscious begins its healing work. But for now, rest as the constellation, held in the silent, patient night. Welcome back, dear traveler. You have floated beyond the library of thought, into the spacious constellation of your own being. Here, at Monk's Moon Temple, we now stand at a most mysterious frontier, not a place of walls or doors, but a gentle fading of one world into another. This is the threshold where wakefulness softens into dream, where the conscious mind begins to hand over its watch to the deeper, wiser realms of the unconscious. Our work here is not to cross by force, but to become so soft, so receptive, that the boundary itself dissolves around us. Begin by noticing the subtle signs of this threshold in your own experience. The weight of your body may feel different, perhaps lighter, or more diffuse, as if its edges are blurring. Thoughts may lose their linear, logical quality and become more like drifting images or fragments of sentences. You might see brief, random patterns of color or light behind your closed eyelids, the hypnagogic imagery that is the mind's prelude to dreaming. Welcome all of this. These are not distractions, they are signposts. They say, you are approaching the land of dreams. The rules are changing. To honor this transition, let's engage in a ritual of permission. In your mind's eye, see yourself standing before a beautiful, ancient gateway. This is not a locked door, but a Japanese torii gate, painted vermilion, standing alone in a misty landscape. Passing under a torii gate symbolizes moving from the mundane to the sacred. Tonight, this gate marks the passage from the waking world to the world of sleep. Walk slowly toward it. Feel the cool mist on your skin. See the intricate grain of the wood. As you step beneath the arch, silently grant yourself full permission to leave the concerns of the day behind. Permission to enter a state where time does not matter, where productivity is irrelevant, where you are free to simply experience the mysterious inner landscape. Step through. Feel the subtle shift in the atmosphere. You have entered sacred space. Now, lying in your bed, you are already through the gate. Let's deepen our relaxation in a way befitting this new territory. We'll use a progressive release that focuses not on muscles, but on levels of consciousness. Imagine your awareness is a multi-story pagoda, like the stunning Tiananmen Temple pagoda in China. Each floor represents a different layer of your mind. The top floor, with its clear windows and ringing bells, is your alert, analytical mind. Acknowledge this floor. Thank it for its vigilance. Now, imagine descending a spiral staircase to the floor below. This is the planning mind, slightly quieter. Feel yourself leaving the bell tower clarity and entering a space of quieter contemplation. Thank this layer, and descend again. The next floor is the emotional mind, a space of feeling tones, colors, and weather. It's not chaotic, but fluid. Acknowledge the feelings present here without engaging their stories. Thank this layer for its depth and sensitivity, and descend once more. You are now at the level of the sensory body, pure sensation, without label or narrative. It is a dark, quiet floor, humming softly with the life of your nerves and cells. Rest here for a moment. Feel the pure, uninterpreted hum of existence in your fingertips, your heartbeat, your breath. This is the floor just above the ground. Now, take the final steps down to the ground floor. This is the floor of the unconscious, the dreaming mind. The door here is not made of wood, but of soft, dark velvet. Place your hand upon it. It yields to your touch. This is not a place you enter with your thinking mind, you allow it to welcome you. Simply lean against this soft door. Feel its support. You do not need to open it. Just know that behind it lies the infinite, creative intelligence that will weave your dreams and perform the alchemy of healing. Trust that it is already at work. Your role is to rest here, at its threshold, supported and safe. To ease this trust, I'll share a story from the ancient redwood forests of Northern California. I once camped alone in a grove of these giants, some over 2,000 years old. As night fell, the forest, which by day felt cathedral-like and awe-inspiring, transformed. In the absolute darkness, my eyes were useless. I had to rely on other senses. I could hear the subtle creak of the massive trunks in the wind, a sound like a ship's timbers. I could smell the damp, fragrant duff of centuries of fallen needles. And I felt a profound, non-visual sense of presence, not of individual trees, but of the entire, interconnected network of roots and fungi beneath my feet, the mycorrhizal network, sometimes called the Wood Wide Web. In the dark, I wasn't a separate observer, I was a guest in a living, communicating, intelligent system that operated on a timescale and in a language I could not comprehend, but could profoundly feel. Your unconscious mind is that ancient, intelligent network. In the darkness of sleep, your conscious thinking, the eyes, goes offline. But beneath the surface, a vast, wise, interconnected system comes alive, processing memories, regulating emotions, solving problems in symbolic language. You don't need to see it to trust it. You just need to surrender to its older, deeper wisdom, like lying on the floor of that redwood forest, knowing you are held by a living intelligence far greater than your daily thoughts. Feel that trust now. You are lying in the grove of your own unconscious. It is ancient, wise, and working for your wholeness. From this place of trust, let's engage in a visualization that directly invites dream imagery. We'll use the symbol of a pool, a universal portal to the subconscious. Imagine you are lying beside a perfectly still, circular pool in a hidden courtyard. The water is dark, like obsidian, and reflects the starry sky above. This is your dream pool. Gaze into its surface. At first, you see only the reflection of the stars. Then, slowly, the reflection begins to change. The stars swirl and soften. Images begin to form in the dark water, not from above, but from the depths. Let them arise without conscious direction. Perhaps you see the shape of a key, the face of an old friend, a winding path, an empty room, a floating leaf. Don't try to interpret. Just observe with soft curiosity, as if watching fish in a pond. Let the images come and go, change and dissolve. You are not creating them, you are witnessing the first stirrings of your dreaming mind, offering you its symbolic language. Enjoy this silent, moving painting. When you feel ready, let the image of the pool itself gently fade, leaving you with only a sense of fertile, creative darkness. Now, we'll work with a potent tool for this threshold state, paradoxical intention. It's a gentle psychological reversal. Instead of trying to fall asleep, deliberately try to stay awake. But not in a strained way. Try to stay awake in the most relaxed, comfortable, and pleasant way possible. Think to yourself, my only goal for the next hour is to enjoy this delicious rest. I am going to savor every moment of this comfort. I forbid myself from falling asleep, because I want to enjoy this peace for as long as I can. This removes the performance anxiety around sleep and often, paradoxically, allows the nervous system to relax so completely that sleep swoops in unnoticed. So, for now, commit to being the most relaxed, awake person you can be. Luxuriate in the stillness. Revel in the lack of obligation. Sleep is not your goal, sublime rest is. And if sleep comes to visit this state of sublime rest, well, that will be its own choice. Let's combine this with a breathing pattern that naturally encourages drowsiness. It's a simple 4-7-8 pattern, done very gently without strain. Inhale quietly through your nose for a mental count of 4. Hold your breath softly for a count of 7. Then, exhale slowly and completely through your mouth, making a soft, whoosh sound, for a count of 8. This pattern helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Let's do 4 cycles together now. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat 3 more times. Now, release the count and return to natural breathing. Feel the wave of calm that follows. Your body chemistry is shifting. As you rest in this shifted state, let me offer another story, this one from the art of kintsugi, which we mentioned earlier, but let's delve deeper. In a quiet studio in Kyoto, a master kintsugi artist doesn't see a broken bowl as ruined. He sees its unique history, the moment it fell, the pattern of its cracks. He painstakingly reassembles it using urushi lacquer dusted with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. The repaired bowl is not merely fixed, it is transformed. The golden seams tell a story of breakage and healing, making it more valuable, more beautiful, than it was before. Your mind, at the end of a day, can feel like that bowl, cracked by stresses, disappointments, or overstimulation. The threshold of sleep is the kintsugi studio. The unconscious is the master artist. As you drift off, the golden lacquer of dream symbolism and neural repair begins its work. It doesn't erase the cracks, the experiences. It integrates them into a new, whole, and even more resilient you. The gold is the wisdom gained, the perspective shifted, the emotion processed. Tonight, imagine your consciousness as that bowl, gently held in the hands of a benevolent, unseen artist. Feel yourself being reassembled not to be perfect, but to be whole, with your experiences honored as golden seams in your being. Surrender to this nightly repair. To further guide this integrative process, we can use a practice of symbolic release. Bring to mind one word that represents something you'd like to release from the day, perhaps hurry, worry, resentment, or clutter. See this word written in simple script on a piece of thin rice paper. Now, in your mind, fold this paper into a small boat, an origami sambasher. Hold it in your cupped hands. Walk to the edge of an imagined slow-moving river, like the philosopher's path in Kyoto. Place the paper boat on the water. Watch it be caught by the current and float away, around a bend, out of sight. The word, and the energy it carries, is now entrusted to the flow of the night. It is no longer in your hands. Now, think of one word you'd like to invite for your sleep or your tomorrow. Perhaps serenity, clarity, strength, or ease. See this word not as script, but as a faint, glowing light in your heart center. With each inhale, let this light glow a little brighter. You are not forcing it, you are breathing life into an intention. Let it radiate a soft, comforting light through your chest, warming you from within. This is your guiding light for the night. We are floating now in a deeply suggestive, hypnagogic state. To harmonize with it, let's use a very slow, whispered guidance. I will suggest simple scenes. Don't visualize them intensely, just let the words paint faint impressions on the dark canvas of your mind. Imagine you are lying in a meadow of soft, dry grass. The stars are thick above you like scattered salt. A slow-moving river whispers nearby. The sound is constant, wordless, carrying away all thought. The earth beneath you is warm from the day's sun, and that warmth rises into your back. You are supported by the planet itself. A gentle breeze moves over the grass, and it sighs, and you sigh with it. The boundaries between your body and the earth, between your breath and the breeze, begin to soften. You are not on the earth, you are of the earth, resting. Let these impressions drift. If your mind wanders, gently return to the sensation of warmth from below and the whisper of the river. Now, we'll introduce a classic mindfulness practice for sleep, noting. But we'll do it with extreme gentleness. As sensations, thoughts, or images arise, simply whisper a soft, internal label for them and let them go. The label is not an analysis, it's a feather-light touch. For example, a thought about tomorrow arises, softly note, thinking, and let it drift by. A sensation of an itch on your nose arises, note, sensation, and let the awareness of it soften. A feeling of restlessness arises, note, energy, and allow it to be, without following it. A memory fragment arises, note, memory, and watch it fade. You are not engaging with the content. You are simply naming the type of event, which creates a tiny space between you and the experience. In that space, there is freedom. Practice this for a little while, in the quiet of your own mind. Thinking, sensation, hearing, remembering. Each note is a stone dropped into the pond, and you are watching the ripples fade into smooth, still water. As we near the end of this part on the dream threshold, let's return to the body one last time, but perceive it as a sleeping animal. Imagine you are a bear in its den in the deep winter of the Laurentian Mountains in Canada. The den is deep, protected, lined with dry leaves. The snow has sealed the entrance. The world outside is fierce and cold, but in here, it is still and secure. Your metabolism has slowed. Your breath is deep and far apart. Your great heart beats a slow, powerful, rhythmic drum in the darkness. You are in a state of torpor. Not unconsciousness, but a profound, instinctual rest that is the essence of renewal. Feel your own body as that bear's body. Heavy, warm, dormant, wise. Every cell is tuned to this ancient rhythm of hibernation. You are not trying to sleep, you are sleeping in the deepest, most biological sense. Surrender to the bear's wisdom. Let your breath become that slow. Let your heart feel that steady, dormant rhythm. Winter outside, perfect, generative rest inside. You have journeyed to the threshold. You have passed under the torii gate, descended the pagoda, trusted the mycorrhizal network of your unconscious, and set symbolic boats sailing. You have practiced the art of kintsugi on your own spirit and settled into the deep den of hibernation. In the next part of our journey at Monk's Moon Temple, we will allow ourselves to be fully received by the dream world, exploring landscapes of metaphor and healing. But for now, rest as the bear rests. Held, slow, and deeply, deeply safe in the den of the night. You have journeyed deep into the den of rest, where the breath of the bear and the pulse of the earth have become your own. Here, at the very heart of Monk's Temple, we enter a chamber unlike any other, the dreamer's sanctuary. This is not a place you build, but one you remember. It is the native land of your subconscious, a realm where logic loosens its grip and meaning flows in symbols, sensations, and stories. Our task here is not to direct, but to be received, to allow the healing and wisdom of this inner sanctuary to envelop you completely. Let us begin by softening the last vestiges of linear thought. Imagine your stream of consciousness is a river, and you have been floating on its surface, watching the banks, your thoughts, go by. Now, it's time to sink beneath the surface. Not into drowning, but into immersion. Feel yourself slowly descending into the warm, dark, buoyant waters of the river. The sounds of the world above become muffled and distant. The light from the surface dims to a gentle, dappled glow. You are suspended in a medium of pure feeling. There is no up or down, no before or after. There is only the gentle pressure of the water holding you, and the silent, liquid darkness. Breathe, knowing that in this metaphor, you can breathe the water. It is rich with oxygen of a different kind, the essence of intuition and dream. Rest here, suspended in the womb of the unconscious. To welcome the dream state, we will create an inner sanctum, a safe and beautiful chamber within your mind where you can rest without any fear of disturbance. This is your Oniro sanctum, your dream sanctuary. Envision yourself in a round, domed room. The walls are not solid stone, but living moss, soft and cool to the touch, emitting a faint, green bioluminescence. The floor is covered in a thick, velvety carpet of midnight blue. In the center of the room is a low, wide bed piled with cushions of deep indigo and silver. The air is still and smells of rain on dry earth, the scent of petrichor. There is no door. The only entrance is the one you came through, your own awareness. And now that you are here, the entrance melts away, leaving only the seamless, secure curve of the wall. You are in a perfect, self-contained sanctuary. Nothing from the outside world can enter unless you invite it. And tonight, you invite only peace. Walk to the center and settle onto the bed. Feel the incredible softness yield beneath you. The cushions adjust to your shape, holding you in a personalized embrace. Above you, the dome is not a ceiling, but a view into the deep ocean at night. You see slow, gentle currents moving, and occasional, harmless, luminous jellyfish pulsing softly like living lanterns. Their light is calm, rhythmic, and soothing. Watch their silent dance. This is the rhythm of your dreaming brain, slow, fluid, and beautiful. Now, within this sanctuary, we will perform a gentle alchemy, transforming any remaining scattered energy into a tool for rest. Bring your attention to any last flickers of mental activity, any itches of unfinished business. See them not as annoyances, but as stray sparks of energy. Imagine you have a cup made of polished obsidian in your hands. One by one, gather these mental sparks and drop them into the cup. See them fizzle and cool as they hit the dark stone, transforming from jagged electricity into smooth, dark sand. When you have collected them all, gently pour this sand onto the floor of your sanctuary. It forms a simple, circular mandala around your bed, a boundary of settled energy. It has been transformed from agitation into a protective pattern. It is now part of the sanctuary's art, harmless and integrated. I'd like to share a story now from the tradition of the Navajo night chant, a healing ceremony that takes place over many nights. A central part of the ritual involves the creation of intricate sand paintings, temporary, sacred artworks made from crushed minerals, pollen, and flowers. These paintings are maps of the cosmos, invitations for healing spirits. Once the ceremony is complete, the painting is destroyed, its healing power disseminated into the community and the world. The impermanence is key. The healing is not in preserving the form, but in the process of its creation and dissolution. Your dreaming mind is creating its own sand painting tonight. The symbols, the fragmented stories, the emotions of your dreams are the colored sands. They form a temporary, sacred map meant to reorder your inner cosmos, to restore hazo, beauty, balance, and harmony. When you wake, the painting will dissolve, but its healing power will remain in your spirit. Trust this process. You don't need to remember the painting. You just need to allow the artist within you to work. Surrender to being the canvas, the sands, and the healing intention, all at once. Now, let's speak directly to the dreaming part of your mind. In a soft, internal voice, offer it an invitation. You might say something like, "Dreaming mind, I am here. I am listening. I am ready to rest. Do your healing work. Weave your stories. Sort the experiences of this day and all days. I give you complete freedom. I ask only for rest, for integration, and for peace. I trust you completely." Feel the sincerity of this invitation. It is a contract of trust between your waking self and your vast, inner self. To further encourage this inner dialogue, we'll use a method of symbolic questioning. Pose a very simple, open-ended question to your dreaming mind as you drift. Not a problem to solve, but a gentle wonder. Something like, "What do I need to know for my healing?" Or, "Show me what peace feels like." Or even simpler, "What image brings comfort?" Ask the question once, softly, like dropping a feather into a well. Then, let it go. Do not listen for an answer with your thinking mind. Let the answer come, if it does, as a feeling, a sudden knowing, or an image that floats into view behind your eyelids. It may not come tonight, or it may come in a week in a sudden insight. The act of asking is an act of opening a channel. That is enough. Let's now engage the body in a way that mimics the paralysis of REM sleep, a state of profound physical stillness that allows for intense mental activity. Consciously command your body to enter a state of serene paralysis. Silently, with gentle authority, send this message from your brain down your spinal cord to every nerve. To my toes, you may be still. To my feet and ankles, be at rest. To my calves and knees, release all duty. To my thighs and hips, be heavy, inert. To my spine and torso, be a column of calm. To my shoulders and arms, abandon all holding. To my hands and fingers, be limp and peaceful. To my neck and throat, be a passage of silence. To my face and head, dissolve all expression. Feel your body obeying, becoming like a beautifully crafted doll, serene and motionless on the bed. Within this absolute physical stillness, your mind is granted the ultimate freedom to dream, to wander, to heal. The body is the anchor. The mind is the sail, catching the winds of the unconscious. As you float in this state of sanctioned paralysis, let's introduce an auditory hallucination exercise, a gentle way to tap into the hypnagogic state. Imagine a sound that is soothing and repetitive, but not present in your room. The sound of a slow, single drumbeat in a vast, empty hall. Boom. Pause. Boom. Pause. Let the pause between beats be long and peaceful. Imagine the resonance hanging in the air. Or imagine the sound of a wooden wind chime, stirred by a breeze you cannot feel, its notes sparse and hollow. Ting. Silence. Tong. Silence. Let these imagined sounds dissolve the boundary between what you hear and what you create. This is the doorway to dream sounds. Now, let me guide you through a progressive deepening into a classic dream landscape. We will move through it slowly, not to visualize vividly, but to suggest. You find yourself at the top of a gentle, grassy hill. It is neither day nor night, but a soft, twilight gloaming. The air is mild. Before you, a path winds down the hill. You begin to walk down it. Your steps are slow, effortless, as if you are gliding. The path is soft underfoot, perhaps pine needles or moss. You pass between two ancient, friendly trees. Their branches arch over the path, forming a gateway. As you pass through, you feel a slight shift, a deepening of relaxation. The path continues into a quiet forest. The light is dappled and dim. You see ferns, and hear the occasional drop of water from a leaf. There is no fear here, only stillness. The path leads to a small, clear pond. The water is perfectly still, reflecting the forest canopy. You sit on a smooth stone beside it. You have arrived at the dreamer's pool. This is a place of waiting, of transition. Sit here, and watch the water. Breathe. Stay with this suggested scene for a few minutes. If your mind changes it, let it. You are no longer guiding, you are following the suggestions of your own subconscious, which is now co-creating this journey with me. From this deep, receptive place, we can practice dream seeding. This is the conscious planting of a simple, positive scenario that your dreaming mind might choose to elaborate on. The seed must be simple, sensory, and positive. Our seed will be the feeling of being gently rocked in a safe place. Don't picture a specific scene like a cradle or a boat. Just repeat the phrase in your mind, and then focus on evoking the feeling itself in your body. Can you generate, from memory or imagination, the visceral, whole-body sensation of being rocked? The slight vestibular shift, the rhythmic comfort. Focus on conjuring that physical feeling now. Let it spread through you. This is the seed. You have planted the sensation. Now let it go. Your dreaming mind may or may not build a story around it. A dream of a hammock, a canoe, a parent's arms. It doesn't matter. The healing essence is in the seated feeling of safe, rhythmic motion. We are so deeply relaxed now that we can practice a form of open monitoring that is the hallmark of advanced meditation and the dreaming mind, awareness without an object. Normally, awareness is of something, the breath, a sound, a thought. Try now to rest in awareness itself, before it lands on any object. It is like being the vast, dark sky before any stars appear. Pure, potential awareness. This is challenging, so be gentle. When you notice awareness has attached to a thought or sensation, softly acknowledge, there is an object, and then gently disengage, returning to the open, empty awareness. You are practicing being the dreamer before the dream, the screen before the movie. Rest in this pure, dark, silent awareness for as long as it feels natural. To help sustain this, I'll share a final story for this part, drawn from the concept of the dreamtime in Aboriginal Australian culture. In this cosmology, the dreaming is not about sleeping, but about the timeless, sacred dimension that underpins reality, the time of creation, where ancestral spirits formed the world. The landscape itself is a scripture, telling stories of the dreaming. To walk the land is to move through a living myth. Your journey into sleep tonight is a walk into your personal dreamtime. The landscapes you drift through, the forest, the hill, the pool, are not random. They are the ancient, psychic landscape of your own being. The dreams that may come are not nonsense, they are creation stories, sorting and reordering the psychic landscape of your life. You are walking in the footprints of your own inner ancestors, the patterns, instincts, and archetypes that form your foundation. There is profound intelligence in this walk. Honor it. You are not wasting time, you are participating in the ongoing creation and maintenance of your own world. As we prepare to conclude this deep immersion in the dreamer's sanctuary, let's return to the body one final time with a sense of blessing. Bring your attention to your physical heart. Place your hand over it if you wish. Feel its steady, reliable beat. With each beat, imagine it pulsing out a soft, rose gold light. This light is the essence of compassion, for yourself, for your journey, for your perfectly imperfect human process. With each heartbeat, this rose gold light expands, filling your chest cavity, then your entire torso, then flowing down your limbs and up to your head. You are now encased in a warm, luminous egg of self-compassion. Within this egg, all healing is possible. All dreams are welcome. All rest is sacred. You have found your sanctuary. You have invited your dreaming mind to work, planted seeds of sensation, and touched the vastness of pure awareness. You walk in your own dream time. In the next part of our journey at Monk's Temple, we will explore the art of release at an even deeper level, the dissolution of the sense of self into the ocean of non-dual rest. But for now, rest within the luminous egg of compassion, in your moss-lined sanctuary, under the dome of the deep sea, perfectly safe, perfectly held. Welcome, beloved dreamer, to the next chamber of our journey. You have built and dwelled within your sanctuary, that moss-lined haven of self-compassion. Now, from that safe harbor, we will embark on the most profound voyage of the night, a journey of release so complete that the very sense of being a separate traveler dissolves. We are going to merge with the infinite, to become not a wave upon the ocean, but the ocean itself. This is the practice of non-dual rest, where there is no meditator and no meditation, only the boundless, peaceful suchness of being. Let us begin by dissolving the last subtle layers of identity. You have already released the roles of the day, the worker, the planner, the critic. Now, release the role of the sleeper or the meditator. You are not someone trying to rest. Rest is what is happening. Awareness is what is happening. Let go of the one who is doing the letting go. To facilitate this, we will use a dissolving visualization. Imagine your sense of self, the I that feels located behind your eyes, as a figure made of fine, white sand, sitting in the center of your awareness. This sand self is detailed, with the shape of your body, your face. Now, imagine a gentle, warm wind begins to blow from the heart of the universe. It is not a destructive wind, but a wind of kindness and truth. As it touches your sand self, the grains at the very edges begin to loosen and lift away. They don't vanish, they simply rejoin the greater landscape. The wind continues. More grains drift away, from the shoulders, the arms, the head. Your sand self becomes less distinct, more fluid. There is no fear in this, only a natural return to a state of unity. The form blurs, softens, and finally, the last grains are carried off on the warm breeze. Where there was a separate figure, there is now only open space, awareness itself, mingling with the infinite. You are not gone. You are everywhere. Rest in this formless, spacious awareness. To deepen into this non-dual state, we will practice a form of inquiry, very softly. Ask yourself, in the silence of your mind, what is aware right now? Don't answer with words. Don't say, I am, or my mind. Turn your attention back onto the source of awareness itself. Look for the looker. Feel for the feeler. It's like trying to turn your head fast enough to see the back of your own head. You can't find it as an object, because it is what is looking. This turning inward toward the subject is the key. As you rest in this inquiry, notice that thoughts, sounds, and sensations continue to arise, but they are all objects appearing to this aware space. You are that space. That space is silent, peaceful, and requires no effort to maintain. It is already what you are. Abide here. I want to share a story that points to this truth, from the stark, beautiful deserts of Wadi Rum in Jordan. I was there with a Bedouin guide, a man who had spent his life in that immense silence. One night, under a sky drowning in stars, he pointed to a particular dune, glowing silver in the moonlight. That dune, he said in his limited English, is not there. I was confused. It was clearly there. He saw my confusion and smiled. The wind, he said, making a sweeping gesture. Tomorrow, different shape. Same sand. The dune is a story. The sand is real. You, he pointed at me, then at himself, are like the dune. A story. The awareness, he touched his chest and then pointed to the stars, is the sand. Everywhere. In that moment, under the cosmic expanse, I understood. My personal identity, my name, my history, my worries about sleep, was just a temporary shape, a dune. The awareness in which that dune arose was the eternal, boundless sand. The wind of experience would constantly reshape the dune, but the essential substance, awareness, remained. Tonight, let the wind of this night soften your dune. Let go of the story of being someone who can't sleep, someone who is meditating, someone on a journey. Be the sand. Be the boundless, silent awareness in which all stories arise and pass away. Now, from this perspective of being the sand, not the dune, let's practice a deep release of the physical form. We'll use the classic, die before you die, meditation, not as morbid, but as the ultimate relaxation. Imagine that tonight, your body is allowed to completely cease its maintenance operations. Every cell is given permission to rest so profoundly that it enters a state of near-suspended animation. The constant repair, the immune surveillance, the metabolic processes, they all dial down to their minimum, essential whisper. Your body becomes like a city at 4 a.m. A few essential lights on for basic function, but the streets are empty, silent, at peace. Feel this deep, physiological surrender happening now. Your body is not sleeping, it is entering a state of profound hibernation, trusting the awareness, the sand, to keep watch. The body city is closed. Let the silence descend. In this deep silence, we can work with the concept of prana or life force. Imagine the energy in your body, usually buzzing along neural pathways and meridians, now gently pooling. It's like water in an intricate network of canals deciding to stop flowing and simply settle into a still, glassy lake. Feel this energy draining from your extremities, from the busy periphery of your brain, and collecting in your core, around your navel center, the hara in Japanese tradition, the seat of vital power and balance. It gathers there, not as a tense ball of energy, but as a warm, dense, still sphere of potential. All striving, all movement, has ceased. You are a still lake with a warm sun at its center. Rest in this potent stillness. To harmonize with the cosmic rhythms, let's synchronize with a slower pulse than your heartbeat. Imagine you can perceive the gentle magnetic pulse of the earth itself. It is incredibly slow, vast, and steady. Tune your awareness to this planetary heartbeat. Feel it as a deep, subsonic hum in the bedrock of existence, a vibration of stability that has been here for billions of years. Let your own rhythm, of breath, of thought, slow to match this ancient, patient pulse. You are no longer a human trying to sleep on a planet. You are a consciousness synchronizing with the planet's own dream. You are being rocked in the cradle of Gaia's slow, magnetic breath. Now, let's introduce a practice from the Christian contemplative tradition. The prayer of the heart, or the Jesus prayer, stripped of its specific doctrine. We will use a simple, mantric phrase focused on surrender. The phrase is, "Into thy hands, I release my spirit." You don't need to believe in a theological, thy. Let thy hands represent the benevolent, holding intelligence of the universe, the natural law of rest, the compassionate embrace of reality itself. Sync it with your breath. On a long, slow exhale, mentally whisper, "Into thy hands." On the natural pause after the exhale, the still point, whisper, I release my spirit. Exhale, into thy hands. Pause, I release my spirit. Feel the profound surrender in each cycle. You are not handing yourself over to oblivion, but to a greater, wiser custody. You are entrusting your temporary, doomed self to the eternal sand. Practice this for several minutes. With each release, feel yourself becoming lighter, emptier, more transparent. From this transparent state, engage in a sensory deprivation fantasy. Imagine all your senses are gently being unplugged, not to create void, but to reveal the peace that exists behind them. Sight, the faint light behind your eyelids fades to a perfect, velvety black. Not a threatening black, but the rich, warm black of the universe between stars. Hearing, all external and internal sounds recede, as if you are moving deep into the soundproofed core of the planet. What remains is not silence as an absence, but silence as a presence, a thick, soft substance you rest in. Touch, the sensation of the sheets, the weight of your body, all dissolves. You lose the boundary of your skin. You are now a cloud of awareness without location. Smell/taste, these fade into neutrality, leaving only the pure, empty awareness of being. You are now pure consciousness, floating in a dimensionless, senseless void. This is the clear light of some traditions, the pure awareness before form. Rest here. There is nothing to do, nothing to be, nowhere to go. This is home. To stabilize in this home, I'll share a story inspired by the quantum physics concept of the zero-point field, the baseline energy of the universe, the humming void from which all particles momentarily spring into existence and then vanish. It is not empty, it is fecund with potential. A physicist once described it to me as, the awake silence out of which the dream of matter arises. Your mind, in its deepest rest, touches this zero-point field of consciousness. The thoughts, the dreams, the sense of self are like virtual particles, temporary fluctuations in this field. Right now, you are allowing the fluctuations to settle. You are returning to the baseline, the awake silence. This is the most restorative state possible. You are not unconscious. You are superconscious, merged with the source field of awareness itself. Feel the profound, creative peace of this baseline state. It is not nothingness. It is pregnant, healing everything. Now, let's end this deep dive with a practice of blessing the body from this place of unified awareness. From the perspective of being the zero-point field, the sand, the ocean, turn your attention back to the temporary, precious form lying in bed, the dune, the wave. See it with immense tenderness and gratitude. From your boundless awareness, send a beam of loving energy to every cell. Thank the body for its faithful service. Forgive it for any perceived flaws. Bless it with rest. Imagine this blessing as a soft, gold and silver mist settling over the entire form, seeping into every pore, every cell, every organ, every bone. The body, held in the vastness of awareness, is now bathed in a healing benediction. It can finally, completely, let go. You have traveled to the ocean of release. You have dissolved the sand self into the boundless desert, synchronized with the planetary pulse, and touched the zero-point field of silent awareness. You have blessed the form from the formless. In the next part of our journey at Monk's Temple, we will begin the gentle, gradual return, weaving the insights of unity back into the tapestry of the self, preparing for the possibility of waking, or for the deepest sleep of all. But for now, remain as the ocean, vast, deep, and perfectly still. You have been the ocean, vast, deep, and perfectly still. From that boundless unity, we now initiate a gentle, spiral return. Not a return to the small, anxious self, but a return as the ocean might choose to form a single, peaceful wave, a conscious, loving gathering of awareness back into the tender vessel of your individual being. This is not a contraction, but an act of embodiment, of bringing the infinite peace of the deep into the finite, resting form. Begin by slowly, ever so slowly, reintroducing a sense of spacious location. You are not in a void. You are in the universe, and the universe is in you. Feel the infinite space that you are now gently condensing around a central point of warmth, the soft, glowing ember of your heart center. Imagine the boundless awareness you've been resting as begins to gently coalesce, like starlight gathering, not into a hard point, but into a soft, radiant sphere about the size of a grapefruit in the center of your chest. This sphere is not separate from the vastness, it is a focal point of it, a lens through which the infinite is gently focusing into the personal. Feel the warmth and gentle light here. This is your soul's hearth. You are coming home to it. Now, from this heart center, very gently begin to sense the outlines of your physical form. Don't jump back into full body awareness. Let it appear like a faint, glowing outline in the dark, a sketch made of soft, blue light. See the outline of your legs, your arms, your torso, your head. It is empty, just a transparent shell. And into this shell, from the heart center, the warm, radiant light begins to gently pour, like liquid honey, filling the outline slowly from the core outward. It fills the torso, then flows down the legs and up into the arms, and finally, up into the head. Your body is no longer a dense object, but a vessel gently filled with the luminous, intelligent awareness of the ocean. It is light-filled and peaceful. With this light body established, we reintegrate the senses, one by one, with a quality of sacred appreciation. Hearing, become aware of the silence again. But now, from within the silence, notice the very first, faint sound that presents itself. It might be the hum of blood in your ears, the distant sigh of a house settling, the breath of the world outside. Don't label it. Just let the pure, vibrational quality of that sound touch your awareness. Hear it as if for the first time, a unique note in the symphony of the night. Welcome it. Touch, become aware of the sensation where your body meets the support beneath you. Feel the pressure, the texture. But feel it not as a boundary, but as a conversation, the gentle, steadfast support of the earth, through your mattress, meeting the yielding softness of your light-filled form. It is an embrace. Feel the gratitude in this meeting of support and surrender. Sight, behind your eyelids, notice the play of darkness. It may no longer be a void, but a deep, velvety space, perhaps with subtle, shifting hues of deep purple or blue. Watch this inner landscape as you would watch peaceful clouds at dusk, no expectation, just gentle observation. Smell and taste, notice the neutral scent of the air, the faint taste in your mouth. Accept them as they are. You are now fully embodied, but embodied as light, as conscious presence, held in the sensory experience of the night. Let me share a story of integration from the practice of Tai Chi in a Beijing park at dawn. I watched an elderly master move through the slow, flowing forms. His movement was not a series of positions, but a continuous, graceful expression of qi, vital energy. When he finished, he didn't just stop. He slowly drew his hands together in front of his chest, palms facing inward, and stood perfectly still. This was the closing form, drawing the qi back to the dantian. It wasn't an end, but a gathering, a storing of the energy he had circulated back into his core, where it would nourish him throughout the day. Our gentle return is that closing form. We have circulated our awareness into the vastness. Now, we are drawing it back, enriched and peaceful, into our core, our heart center, our hara. Feel this gathering. With each breath, feel the sense of expanded awareness gently, lovingly, collecting in the warm sphere at your center. You are storing the peace of the ocean in the vessel of your being. Now, we will create a memory of peace in the body, a somatic anchor you can recall in future restless nights. Find the place in your body that feels the most deeply peaceful right now. It might be your hands, lying open and soft. It might be your solar plexus, feeling warm and loose. It might be the space between your eyebrows, feeling smooth and cool. Wherever it is, bring your full attention to that spot. Amplify the sensation. If it's warmth, let it grow warmer. If it's softness, let it become even softer. If it's lightness, let it become buoyant. Imprint this feeling into your cellular memory. Silently tell your body, remember this feeling. This is the feeling of true rest. This is your personal, physiological talisman for sleep. From this place of integrated peace, we can perform a final review of the night's journey, not with thought, but with feeling. Let the key moments drift by like beautiful landmarks seen from a slow-moving train. The initial settling into the temple courtyard. The compassionate view from the veranda. The silent library and the turning off of the lamps. The threshold under the torii gate. The sanctuary of moss and bioluminescence. The dissolution into sand and ocean. And now, this gentle gathering of light. Don't dwell on any. Just let each evoke an echo of the peace you felt there. You are integrating the entire journey into your being. Now, we set a very soft, open-ended intention for the remainder of the night. This is not a goal, but a whispered direction for your unconscious. Something like, may the rest of my night be guided by innate wisdom. Or, I am open to whatever form of restoration serves me best. Plant this intention like a seed in the fertile soil of your heart center. Water it with one slow, deep breath, and then let it be. We will now practice a breathing pattern that bridges conscious relaxation with autonomic sleep breathing. It's called circular breathing for sleep. The idea is to eliminate the pause between inhale and exhale, creating a smooth, endless loop of breath. Inhale gently and slowly through your nose. Just as the inhale naturally completes, begin the exhale, just as gently and slowly, through your nose or slightly parted lips. As the exhale finishes, immediately, seamlessly, begin the next inhale. There is no gap, no hold. The breath becomes a soft, continuous circle, like a wheel rolling silently on smooth sand. This rhythmic, gapless breath is deeply soothing and mimics the automatic breathing of deep sleep. Practice this for a minute or two. Let the wheel turn on its own momentum. As you breathe this continuous, circle breath, let your awareness itself become circular. There is no starting point, a meditator, and no end point, a goal. There is just the endless, gentle cycle of awareness breathing through the form, and the form breathing within awareness. Rest in this seamless, endless loop. I'll share one more integrating story, from the tradition of making Persian carpets in Iran. The most beautiful carpets are made by teams of weavers sitting at a great loom. No single weaver sees the whole pattern taking shape above them, they follow a detailed cartoon and tie thousands of knots per day. At the end of a long section, the master weaver will inspect it, not just for errors, but for spirit. The true art, they say, is in the finishing. The final passes of the weft thread, the careful trimming of the pile, the washing that makes the colors bloom, this is where the separate efforts of many hands become one magnificent, cohesive work of art. Your consciousness tonight has been a team of weavers, the thinking mind, the feeling heart, the sensing body, the vast witness. You have followed the cartoon of this guidance. Now, we are in the finishing. This gentle return, this gathering of light, this circular breath, this is the master weaver's final pass, the trimming and washing. All the separate practices are being woven into a single, seamless experience of rest. Feel the cohesion, the wholeness. The carpet of your night is nearly complete, its patterns of peace rich and deep. Finally, offer a blessing of gratitude to yourself. From the heart center, send a pulse of thankful light to every part of your being. Thank you, mind, for letting go of thought. Thank you, heart, for holding compassion. Thank you, body, for your faithful service and deep surrender. Thank you, breath, for your constant, rhythmic companionship. Thank you, awareness, for being the silent space in which all of this unfolds. Feel this gratitude as a final, unifying vibration humming through your light-filled form. You have returned from the ocean, not as a separate droplet, but as the ocean consciously inhabiting a wave. You are integrated, whole, and imprinted with peace. The sanctuary, the library, the threshold, the ocean, all are now within you, layers of a profound rest that is your natural state. In the next part of our journey, we will settle into an extended, silent vigil, where my voice will recede completely, leaving you in the sovereign space of your own deepest rest, held only by the timeless embrace of Monk's Temple. But for now, rest in this gentle, gathered, luminous return. The circle breath continues. The heart light glows. All is well. You have returned, luminous and whole, gathered into the gentle spiral of your own being. The circle breath turns, the heart light glows. Now, we enter the sacred core of the night's practice, the silent vigil. In this extended passage, my voice will become like a distant lighthouse, a periodic, soft reminder in a vast, dark sea of your own awareness. You are the sea. You are the silence. You are the vigil itself. I will now begin to speak less, and with longer pauses between sentences. Let each word be a raindrop falling into the still pond of your mind, creating a single, gentle ripple that spreads and then vanishes back into stillness. Follow the ripple into the silence. Begin. Your awareness is a wide, open plain under a night sky. No moon, only stars. The air is perfectly still. You are not on the plain. You are the plain. Vast, receptive, silent. The breath is the soft wind over the grass. It rustles. And then is gone. Only the memory of movement remains. Any thought that arises is a distant, lone bird. It calls once. Its cry travels across the vast space. And fades. It does not disturb the peace. It is part of the peace. You are watching the stars. But you are also the space between the stars. The dark, warm, nurturing void. Rest here. Feel your body relaxing. Let yourself rest here, in stillness. Nothing to do. Nowhere to be. Pause, 30 seconds. Breathing in and out. Pause, 30 seconds. Your mind quiet, your heart open. Pause, 30 seconds. Resting deeply. Pause, 30 seconds. Whenever you're ready, gently bring your awareness back. Remember the feeling in your hands. That deep, soft heaviness. It is the weight of peace. Let it sink through your palms. Into the earth. The boundary of your skin is dissolving again. Not into nothing. But into everything. You are the coolness of the sheets. You are the density of the mattress. You are the quiet of the room. There is no you to be separate from these things. Only experiencing. In the silence, listen to the deepest sound. The sound of your own nervous system quieting. A soft, inner hum winding down. Like a great engine shifting to idle. And then below idle. To a whisper. This is the sound of healing. I will share one last, brief story in the form of a metaphor. In the deep caves of Waitomo in New Zealand, there is a species of glowworm. In the total darkness, they cling to the cave ceiling and spin silken threads. Then they glow with a soft, blue-green light. To a visitor floating on the dark water below, it looks like a starry night sky. But the light is not for beauty alone. It is a lure. The light attracts insects, which get trapped in the sticky threads. The glowworm feeds. Your peaceful thoughts tonight are like those glowworms. They are not just pretty. They are functional. They attract and capture restless, buzzing mental energy. And transform it into nourishment for your rest. Each breath, each moment of stillness, is a new glowworm. Spinning its thread. Casting its gentle, trapping light. Your mind is becoming a galaxy of peaceful lures. Catching and dissolving agitation. Feeding the silence. Let your mind be that cave. Dark, vast, and studded with the soft, blue lights of tranquil awareness. The body is now a relic. An ancient, comfortable statue left in a peaceful garden. Moss grows on it. Sun and rain weather it. It has no purpose but to be. To exist as part of the landscape. You are the garden. You are the weather. You are the peace in which the statue rests. Time has lost its meaning. This moment could be a second. Or a century. It does not matter. In the vigil, all times are one time. The time of rest. If sleep is coming, let it come like a soft animal. It does not need permission. It does not need an invitation. It simply shares the space with you. You are the cave. Sleep is the bear that lives in it. There is room for both. Awareness is the cave. Sleep is the occupant. There is no conflict. We are so deep now that even these words are an echo from far away. Let them be faint. Let them be misunderstood. Let them be only sounds. Without meaning. The vigil is yours. The silence is not empty. It is full. Full of presence. Full of completion. You have kept the vigil. Not by staying awake, but by staying present. Whether you hovered on the edge of dreams, or slipped fully into their stream, your awareness was the vigil light, never extinguished. Now, very gently, begin to sense the form of the body again. Not as a weight, but as a gentle gathering of starlight. Particles of light choosing to coalesce into the familiar shape of you. Feel the breath. Natural. Autonomous. It has been breathing you all this time. There is a softness in the bones. A fluidity in the joints. This is the physical signature of deep rest. Remember it. You have sailed the silent sea, and anchored in the harbor of your own being. The vigil completes itself. Not by ending, but by becoming what comes next. Dreamless sleep, or mindful rest, or the first, faint touch of morning. All are perfect. I am here only as a whisper in the temple, reminding you that you are held. You have always been held. By the night. By the silence. By the timeless wisdom of Monk's temple. Rest now. Beyond guidance. Beyond practice. In the simple, profound truth of being. You have journeyed through the silent vigil, anchored in the harbor of pure being. Whether you have visited the shores of sleep or rested in conscious stillness, a deep transformation has been weaving itself through the night. Now, as our 3-hour journey together gently concludes, we will make a soft, honoring return. Not to the busyness of the day, but to a renewed and peaceful awareness, carrying the temple's silence within you. Begin by noticing the natural state of your body and mind in this moment. There is no goal, no evaluation. Simply notice. Is there a feeling of heaviness? Of lightness? Of spaciousness? Of stillness? Whatever is present, allow it to be exactly as it is, without any need to change. This acceptance is the fruit of our long practice. Now, let us gently reconnect with the breath in a celebratory way. For the last time tonight, take a deep, slow, conscious breath in through your nose, a breath that gathers the essence of the entire night's peace, and exhale through your mouth with a soft sigh of contentment. Feel how this breath moves through a body that is profoundly different from the one you inhabited 3 hours ago. It is a body that has been blessed by release, by compassion, by stillness. Take 2 more breaths like this, each one a thanks offering to yourself for this deep work. Let's slowly, with immense care, bring movement back into the body. Start with the smallest micro-movements. Gently wiggle the toes of your right foot, then the left. Rotate your ankles slowly in one direction, then the other. Feel the life returning, not as a jarring alarm, but as a gentle awakening of energy. Bend your knees slightly, sliding your heels toward you, feeling the stretch in the backs of your legs. Now, gently stretch your arms overhead, interlacing your fingers and turning your palms toward the ceiling. Reach long through your fingertips and down through your heels, creating a delicious, full-body stretch. Hold it for a moment, and then release completely, letting your arms float back down to your sides. Take a deep breath here, feeling the tingling, alive sensation of circulation. Now, bring your hands to your heart, one over the other. Feel the warmth of your own touch. This heart has been the center of our journey, the place of compassion, the hearth of light, the anchor of return. Press gently, and offer yourself one final, silent blessing for the night. It might be a word, like peace, or a phrase, like I am restored. Let it be sincere and simple. I'd like to share a closing story, a parable of integration. In the Andean highlands of Peru, the weavers of the Chinchero region create textiles using techniques thousands of years old. At the end of weaving a major piece, they perform a ritual called Pago a la Tierra, a payment to the earth. They don't pay with money. They take a small portion of the most beautiful threads, the finest cocoa leaves, and perhaps a splash of chicha corn beer, and they bury it in the earth where they gathered the wool. This act completes the cycle. It thanks the source, grounds the creation, and ensures that the beauty taken is returned, so the cycle of creation may continue. Tonight, you have woven a beautiful textile of rest. Now, perform your own Pago a la Tierra. In your mind, gather the finest threads of peace, compassion, and stillness you have cultivated. Offer them back to the source, to life itself, to the universe, to the silent wisdom that guided you. Bury this gratitude in the earth of your own being, knowing that this act of giving ensures these qualities will renew themselves within you, night after night. The cycle is complete. Now, as you lie here, begin to sense the room around you. Feel the space, the dimensions, the familiar objects. Know that you are returning to your room, but you are not returning as the same person who left it 3 hours ago. You are returning as a caretaker of peace, carrying the quiet of monk's temple within your very cells. Very, very slowly, when you feel ready, you may begin to open your eyes. Don't rush. Let the eyelids lift gradually, as if unveiling a precious work of art. Allow the darkness or the soft light of the room to meet your gaze without focus. Blink softly. Let your eyes adjust. See the world as if for the first time, fresh, new, and gentle. Take your time. There is no hurry to get up, to move, to do. Linger in this bridge between the deep inner world and the outer world. When you feel a natural inclination, you may slowly roll to one side, using your arm to support yourself as you sit up at the edge of your bed. Feel your feet on the floor, the solid, supportive ground. Sit for a moment, breathing, feeling the peace of the night integrated with the alertness of waking. As you move into your night or into your day, carry this intention with you, that you can return to this inner temple anytime. The courtyard of stillness, the library of the mind, the sanctuary of the heart, the ocean of release, they are all within you. A single conscious breath is the doorway. Thank you, dear friend, for sharing this long, profound journey into rest at Monk's Temple. You have honored yourself with the deepest care. Whether you sleep now, or rise with the dawn, may the peace you have cultivated remain as a gentle undercurrent in your life, a constant whisper of stillness beneath the waves of the world. You are always welcome here. The temple is not a place, but a state of heart you now know how to find. Go in peace. Rest deeply. Awaken gently. Good night.